Now they got that off my chest. Like sometimes you just gotta get some shit out first, and then you do what you was intending to do before. That's what just happened. I was gonna record this about intoxicated sin, which we'll get into in a minute. So I had a relapse and I went back to social media, and that's a whole nother video on its own. But I relapsed. I was straight pookie. I was like, you know what I mean? I was Dr. Pookied, and I mean all of it. Like I mean, all of it, like Snapchat, TikTok, motherfucking Instagram. Oh my God. I was like, I was in there. But I had to do that video first. I had to get it done first. Like, I literally had to knock it out. I went back to the dark side. Nigga. Oh, and I liked it there. It was great. It was fucking great. Oh, man. Look at me right back there. Look. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Go ahead, look at this. Look at this. Look at this nigga right here. Look at this. Just getting in there. Welcome to Transmissions from the Dark. My name is Carl Duncan. I feel like that, Dr. Green dumb shit. I am the creator of Dark Deer Comics. And today what we're going to be talking about is going to be Intoxicated Sin. And it's not what you think it is. And one of these days I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put a title up and I'm gonna be like, tell me what you think this comic book is about. Intoxicated Sin. This comic book was probably one of the most, it's an old title too. It's almost older than Trojan. Actually, no, let me not say almost older. It is older than Trojan. The comic book, this particular book, was something I came up with while I was doing music, but I was really fucking young, right? I can sing. I have the ability to sing. I don't do it for everybody. I've done open mic before. I've done karaoke, and also, women I've dated, they've heard me sing around the house, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? But I also did comic books, and the original idea for this was, I just drew this dude with a trench coat flowing behind him, and he had this massive fucking howitzer gun. Like, the barrel was literally this fucking big. There made no sense, the type of bullets that were gonna come out that motherfucker. Like, I don't even know what the fuck I was thinking. Like, it's like literally a fucking hand cannon. He was like leaned back with this huge ass gun, like, and he was a vampire. So I was like, I need to come up with a story for this character. So originally, the story was about a guy, and now we've switched that around. I have an incredible talent for finding talent. Mr. Casey Boker he wrote the first issue to Intoxicated Sin. The man is extremely talented, and he knows how to talk detective. I didn't even fast forward, I should do that. Fast forward, the concept of this comic book always stuck with me. It's always been that was different and unique. And yes, it does follow vampires. Not your prototypical shit. Not your Blade Daywalker. Not shitting on Blade. Not shitting on Blade. Blade goes hard. Blade is tough. Not shitting on Blade. As far as a genre, I feel as though vampires are almost there. Zombies are up here, okay? I feel like zombies are overdone. Thank you to Robert Kirkman, because he revitalized the zombie genre. But vampires, I feel, are running a close second to being like, I don't care if I see another vampire theme, anything. I'm cool. The difference is, which is a very significant difference, is that this is Dark Gear and we do things different. And like I said, I want to continue with Casey Boker because he writes this so well. He's come up with so many twists and turns as far as the character is concerned. Casey's going back and forth with me. And originally, it was supposed to be a male detective. So it was like Ed Sinkowski or something like that. Hence the name Intoxicated Sin. The name was Sinkowski. Premise is that he was a guy when we first started. Now, by the time me and Casey got done with it, it had transformed into something amazing. It turned into something beautiful. We follow our protag, which is Ren Sinkowski, and Miss Sinkowski is a detective. there's a serial killer out there, and it's her case, and she's had it for the last 10 years. But every now and again there's a lull. They get another lead, and it's like, oh shit, another murder happens. Oh no, what the fuck? She's been on this case for years, right? In that time, she's grown in the force. She's rocked with her partner. They've solved a lot of cases on the offside when there's downtime. They solve cases and all this other crazy shit. But the serial killer is something serious. So he's not just he's methodical, but also he's barbaric. Like there's people that are ripped apart, and on the blood on the walls it's scrawled, there's stuff scrawled in blood with limbs and shit. Like you can tell that this motherfucker is crazy and demented, but it's almost like there's an animal attack. She's still after this guy. In her growing and in her developing, and also, like I said, going through all the crazy shit that she's encountered. She has a girlfriend who she's about to make her wife. This is on year 10. She's doing well at detective, apart from this serial killer continuing. Everything is looking a lot better, and this is in one of those moments where there's a lull, where things have kind of died down. But then now, in that 10-year mark, we have murder after murder after murder after murder. You have her police chief, David Hoyt. He's on her top, and he's like, yo, Ren, you need to, it's been this many years. You still haven't made any headway. You get little leads here and there. You have no fucking leads. What's going on? With the stuff being back to back to back, and it taking its toll on her over that year, over that 10th year, it's starting to wind on her, because she's working longer hours. She's trying to get to the next murder, and then boom, there's another murder. She's like, fuck. It's taking her toll, so she starts drinking a little more. Her girlfriend at the time, who's her fiance, rather, we'll say that. Her fiance wants to get up and fucking leave. She's like, yo, you're all over this case. We're supposed to be getting married. We got a wedding coming up. We got things that we're planning. And you're over here, all your face is buried in this fucking case. She's going through it all the way around. The whole way. So her job is getting on her head. Her wife is getting on her head. Life is getting on her head. She's starting to fall into a depression. On top of that, the alcohol is a family thing. So her mom used to be an alcoholic, something that she fought with, but this shit started getting to her, so she started drinking, and she took to it. She's drinking more and more. She's starting to look scrubby and dusty and all this other shit. And then her partner, Hank Spicoli, he's trying to look out like, hey man, like, what are you doing? You're falling apart at the seams, yada yada yada. And then the last murder, this is when the shit really cracks off. Another murder happens at a bar. There's a body found of a young lady in a taxi cab, busted wide open, just guts everywhere. The serial killer got to her and just tore her body apart in the actual car, and he still managed to scrawl some shit in the taxi cab. That was the last straw. Her fucking her boss, I had to check it because sometimes it like dying on me. I don't like that shit. So her boss is like, yo, this is it. You're done. You're fucking done. You're coming in here smelling like a fucking handle of Jack. You're not producing anything out there. You look like a fucking, piece of shit. I gotta suspend you. I gotta take you off the case. You gotta get out of here. Essentially, she's fired. On top of that, after losing her job, she's coming home, and her fiance is like packing it up. Now her fiance doesn't even know what happened. She's communicating with him, but she's like, yo, babe, I had a rough day, text message wise and shit. You know what I'm saying? As soon as she gets home, fiance has already packed most of her shit, and all, like, they live together, so they have accumulated things. So those things are already out of the house. So she's just packing up her, like, a bag full of clothes and some more shit, and then she's out. She hits her in the, talk about her mom being an alcoholic, all that good shit. Like, yeah, it's one of those. So she's down. She's down on her fucking luck. She's been pretty much fired. Her woman left her. She's spiraling out of control. She's following her mom's example. Everything's going bad for her right now. But she still is bothered by this case. She's still frustrated by this case. So she goes out to have a drink. Where she has a drink is what's important. So she actually goes to the bar where the last murder happened. She's surveying the scene, and one of the waitresses is really friendly with her. They start flirting back and forth. And she's like, oh shit, okay, wait a minute. Okay, I must not look that bad. I'm getting action. So she's feeling herself a little bit, but she's also throwing the motherfuckers back, like just, you know what I'm saying? She's just shot, drink, adios, motherfucker. Most Arizona natives and Las Vegas natives know about an adios. If you don't know about an adios, you probably ain't been to either one of those places. But an adios, motherfucker, it's like a tequila sunrise, but stronger in my opinion. But she's just throwing these bitches back, right? But meanwhile, you know, old girl is like, you know, she's still giving her rhythm. Even though she's sloppy, she's still giving her rhythm. She basically gets 86 because, you know, Ren's making a scene. She had a bad day. She starts like helping her out into the back alley. What she doesn't know is that well, I can't tell you that because then they'll give it away. I'm not gonna say that because I was just, oh my god, I was just about to give about 3 story arcs away, but I can't do that. Okay, I won't do that. Okay. So that was me rewinding, by the way, just in case. Now she's still attracted to Ren, even though she's like stumbling drunk, and Ren is still like trying to shoot her a shot. You know what I'm saying? She's like, yo, you're gorgeous and beautiful. And so old girl goes in to kiss Ren, and she does. She successfully lands one on Ren, and Ren's kissing back. And you know, she's drunk kissing, and the waitress is all into it. And then all of a sudden, the waitress's head is cut clean the fuck off, and then blood just, the serial killer is here. We find out that the serial killer is actually a fucking vampire. And now he's found the person that's been investigating his murders. Well, you wanna know what you're hunting? You know what you're looking for? Here, I'm gonna show you. And then he bites her ass. Being that she was drunk, she was dying. Her blood alcohol level was through the fucking roof because she drinks during the day. So on top of that, she went out to drink some more and got slapped. So she was dying on the way out. So she's not your prototypical vampire. And because of who she was bitten by was a genetic mutation basically brought about by this company called Synergen. It's run by vampires all the way around. The whole board is all vampires. But what they do is they're trying to better their race so that generations can rule man pretty much and make us cattle. The series ones, which is what he is, they can walk in the daylight. They can do, you know, they're stronger than most vampires, but also there's not too many of them because of the fact that they're stronger, better, faster. They used to use familiars, which is to do their moving around. But now with some of the series ones, which like I said, aren't too many of them, they don't have to do that anymore. You know, but the series ones are off the chain, so you gotta kind of watch them. He turned her as she was dying. So Sin is definitely different. Synergen, their front is that they help impoverished communities. They put schools, technology, all that shit in the impoverished communities and build them up here and there. Okay, just enough. You know what I mean? They don't do too much to get seen or get noticed, but they do enough. They have, you know, different medicines and all this other stuff that they give to humanity to kind of, you know, keep them to live a little bit longer because you need your, you know, you want to make sure your cattle are strong while you're eating them, right? You want to make sure you're eating good products. So they make sure the humanity is going to be healthy over the next few years with like certain inventions that they come up with. Underneath all of that shit, they're here to eat people, and that's what they're here for. So this interloper, the serial killer, is actually a series one that got away from him, pretty much. They got out. He's living his best life, basically. And that's just that's like the first issue, pretty much. You know, she blacks out and dies, and then, you know, the next things happen because obviously the series continues. So I'm not gonna tell you what the fucking plot twist is. I almost gave it away though. I almost did. I will say this. Casey Boker put his fucking foot in this story. I would love to get him to go on to the second issue and the third and the fourth and the fifth, because he knows the fuck he's doing, man. You know, we move on. There's different characters. There's like Drudega. He was a part of Synergen, but when they started doing experiments, he's a real old vampire. He was like, no, I'm not a part of this. There's nothing wrong with the old way. Why are we doing this to ourselves? This is perverse. He excommunicated himself from the Horde, is what they're called. You have a few other people in there. You have like Noob, he's a little kid that she finds and saves and all this other shit. And then you have little anti-hero situations here. And this guy spans across a couple of titles. His name is Vagrant. Vagrant it'd be like if you mix Spawn, Batman, and fucking Venom and put them all together into one character. He's homeless, but he comes from money. And, you know, he was out on the street and Synergen got a hold of his ass and fucked him up. They messed him up. He's got this situation. The suit is like nanites, but it feeds on blood. So it feeds on his life force, but he can only do so much. He can't produce that much blood. But it gives him strength too. Like, it's also a shield that protects him. It does a lot of shit. It's a whole suit, but it's made from living nanites that cover him. They, like I said, they live off blood. So when he starts getting low, guess what he has to do? Somebody got to pay the piper. He also is somewhat of a crime fighter, so he tries to get bad people to fuel his suit. That's the best way I can put it. He shows up, he makes a couple of appearances, We'll get a little bit more detail with him later. This story right here is going to be so fucking fire. From the you know the trauma with her mom and alcoholism and overcoming that, and also in getting through that. You got different relationships. There's a lot of things in this book that aren't, you know, your prototypical things here. So I think that is a good. I think that gives it a good base. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that give it that plant it in reality, like depression, like losing and continuously losing and trying to get out of that and get your win streak going so that you can get the fuck up. But that's what her mission is next, is to get her wins and come back, you know, even stronger. That's Intoxicated Sin, man, in a fucking nutshell. And Ren is a complex character. She has a brother, but her brother's actually in another comic book. He's a cop, but we'll get into that too. We'll get into that too. Dark Gear, the comic books touch, you know, they connect here and there. So keep your eye out. Like I said, you see this and you're interested and you say, you know what, I feel like I can draw that, because I have a couple of stills of Ren Sinkowski. Like I have a couple of shots. You know, if you're interested, let me know and I can, you know, send you some of the shots and shit so that you can see what kind of, you know, what she looks like, who she is, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. That is the story. There's characters I didn't even mention that there's a laundry list. And I mean, I'm looking at it right now. There is a laundry list of characters that are in there. My name is Carl Duncan. I am the creator of Dark Gear Comics. I appreciate you so much for stopping by, ladies and germs. Ladies and germs. 3 free things. I just need you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. I always do say that, but please make it happen. Just like, share, subscribe. You know, you could like too. You don't necessarily have to share, but like I said, I'm just trying to get that algorithm going so I can get my tribe to come to me so that we can make some dope ass shit for y'all. Flat out, some dope ass comics, art, all that good shit. So let's go. Let's get there. But yeah, man, I'm just here to try to get it moving, get it pushing. That's it. That's really it. So liking and sharing, subscribing, it helps the momentum and helps things keep moving forward. So I appreciate the love when you do apply those 3 free things. I definitely, guys, want to thank you guys so much for tuning in again. Like I said, whether it's the morning, afternoon, or the evening, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me, and I appreciate that. You can always go to darkgearcomics.com to get more information, to check out some, you know, get the artwork, some, you know, pictures, art, all that shit, character lists, character descriptions, all that wonderful shit. You can go to darkgearcomics.com and check out Intoxicated Sin. I'm sure I'll probably have a link or something, one of these things, you know, one of those little nice, you know what I'm saying? And and I definitely want to thank you guys so much. Have a good night and peace. Peace.